She's lost.
Lost her husband.
Lost her way.
Found the darker way.
The road that leads into the funnel.
Lost her own.
Found the whistler from the stars.
Eater of dimensions.
The blind piper.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to talk about the FX original television series by the name of The Americans. I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon episode 7 titled Duty and Honor. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? So, only a few key things go on in this episode, but our main thing is that Philip, our KGB officer, a Russian spy, Philip has to go do a mission, and during this mission, he goes and sees an ex-girlfriend of his that he hasn't seen in about 20 years. And that's pretty much the gist of the entire episode. He goes and sees this girl, and while seeing this girl in this episode, she tells him that he has a son from her, and this is his first time finding this out. He has not known this for about 20 years now, so that was one of the big things in this episode. A huge plot twist, and I love that plot twist because I came totally out of left field, and I just really didn't expect him to have a son. She could have been lying to him, but it seemed like she was telling the truth. Anyway, so we found that out that he has a son with an ex-girlfriend of his back from Russia. So we found that out, and while this was all going on, Carrie Russell was having dinner with the FBI agent's wife in their house, and the kids were playing foosball down in the garage and that whole thing. And while this was happening, Stan, the husband, was at work, and the FBI agent, I didn't see this coming at all, but the FBI agent got a little drunk at a bar, and if you remember the young Russian spy, if you remember her, she and him had sex in this episode. I didn't expect it at all because he has now cheated on his wife, and his wife is not aware of him cheating on her. So that was another huge plot twist in this episode. Sorry if I'm giving away spoilers, but that's what these reviews are all about, right? Anyways, so we had that huge thing, where the Russian spy Stan, had relations with the young Russian spy girl, and then we had Philip found out he's had a son for about 20 years now, and his son's in the military back in Russia. So, two huge plot twists, and I really didn't expect those two things. And then the other key elements in this episode was at the very end of this episode, while Philip is away on his mission, seeing his ex-girlfriend from 20 years ago, Carrie Russell's character playing Elizabeth in The Americans on FX starts to miss him. She calls him and says, hey, I miss you. And this is odd because they're not really, they had, an arranged marriage. They're not actually really falling in love. But by the end of the episode, Carrie Russell and Matthew Wright's character both decide, they're like, hey, let's try to do this whole falling in love thing. Let's try to actually be in a relationship together, not just an arranged marriage thing. So they're actually, trying this whole, marriage thing out for real, not just an arranged marriage thing. They're actually trying to fall in love. So that was a nice romantic thing. But the thing is, Matthew Wright's character is still lying to her. Even after they made this commitment to him, he makes the bad decision to still lie to her because Carrie Russell asks him, she's all, what does she say? She says, she says, did anything happen between you and your ex-girlfriend? And he says, no, nothing happened, it's been you all along, don't worry, nothing happened. That's pretty much what he says. Well, something did happen. He had sex with her because I didn't show it, but it showed them lying in the bed naked together. Clearly, it's obvious what happened, right? Anyways, another key element was Philip was setting up a person, and the way he set this person up was he made it look like his ex-girlfriend was raped, so the other person would get in trouble for it. So there was a scene where he put on like some gray sweatpants, a gray hoodie jacket, and stole something from the girl while they were out in the snow with a friend, and made it look like the guy had like little bruises on his fingers. And then there was another scene where I didn't really get it at first, but he hit his ex-girlfriend at least 3 or 4 times. I was like, and in my head I was like, why is he hitting her? And then after the commercial break, and then when the American show came back on, I realized that he was trying to set, because the other guy was caught naked in the bed by himself, and that had said, hey, he raped her, sexual abuse and harassment, and now this guy's arrested, right? So I got it after I saw that scene, but at first I was like, I'm confused. Overall, though, that is the gist and the basics of episode 7, titled Duty and Honor, for the FX original television series by the name of The Americans. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode, and one of the main reasons I enjoyed it because it threw 2 huge plot twists and elements that I really didn't expect, and like I just talked about those 2, I really didn't expect, the FBI agent Stan to, have sex and relations with that young Russian KGB officer. I really didn't expect that. And I also didn't expect Philip to have a son after 20 years of not knowing. And then I also really liked the whole romantic scene at the end of the episode where they decide to actually, because they're clearly, after being married for 15, 20 years, there is some sort of love there, but it's not the real kind of love. So it's just nice knowing, it's nice little romantic and sentimental moment. It's a nice moment knowing that they are at least trying to love each other, and I really liked that. Overall, a great episode, lots of great plot twists, lots of just intense scenes. Like whenever they revealed the plot twist, I was honest, I was devastated. I was struck by so much surprise that I had to keep watching. I had to. It was just good stuff. I really didn't expect that stuff. Anyways, that's pretty much my opinion on the episode. Next week's episode comes on, as always, every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock again for everyone else, March 20th of 2013. It's episode 8, titled Mutually Assured Destruction. And pretty much what the gist of it is, it looks like... before I talk about that next week's episode, let me talk about one other scene I like. There was another scene where, who Elizabeth beat up the red-haired girl. I forget her name, but she beat up the red-haired girl, and they met on a bench in the middle of the snow to kind of say, she wanted to say she was sorry, but Elizabeth really didn't give a crap if she was sorry. No, she pretty much says, I'm sorry I didn't kill you. And then the red-haired girl says, am I taking it as a threat? I liked that whole interaction and scene between those 2 characters. Great acting, great dialogue, great everything overall. Anyways, like I said, next week's episode, episode 8 for the Americans, is titled Mutually Assured Destruction. And pretty much what it revolves around is, once again, this red-haired girl tells Kerry Russell's character playing Elizabeth in the Americans, saying, she pretty much tells her, hey, if you guys are going to fall in love, it's not going to be able to work for you guys. And that's one of the plot elements. And then another plot element in next week's episode that I saw in the promo is that it seems like the Russian KGB officer spies are actually starting to take people out on the streets. They're like blowing cars up and stuff. And the Americans take this in the sense that, hey, the Russians are trying to start a war, a guerrilla war. We have to fight them back. So it looks like everything is just starting to come down to the wire, come down and break down. And it looks like some sort of war might get started. So, you never know, right? Anyways, that's pretty much the gist of episode 7, titled Duty and Honor, for the FX original television series by the name of The Americans. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday night to the next Thursday during the day, and I'll have more episodic reviews of The Americans. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later with more episodic reviews by Centipede Geek.